All right, we are watching a Babylon Bee video. Christian nationalism worse than the Nazis? Let's see.
What is Christian nationalism? Is it good? No. No, it is not. This dangerous movement is filled with Christians who love America and vote for Republicans. It is the gravest danger the American church has ever faced. It is important to stop this wicked, depraved, idolatrous movement before they organize another insurrection. Or worse, elect a Republican. What are its origins? One day, Trump had a meeting with Satan in his underground lair and concocted a diabolical plan to trick Christians into voting for him.
That's so funny.
By banning abortion and helping all the people find jobs.
Which means to me jobs. That's what it means, jobs.
Thus, Christian nationalism was born, and millions of so-called Christians voted for Trump, even though he's not a perfect man. Unlike all the other politicians, despicable. What do Christian nationalists believe? Christian nationalists literally worship Trump. They think he's a god. They pray to him and stuff. At least some of them do. The rest worship Jesus, but still voted for Trump, which is really no different than worshiping him. Here are some telltale signs of being a Christian nationalist. Prayer, going to church, having lots of kids, being white, or being any other race, but still loving America, reading the Constitution, building walls, insurrecting things, dancing around a golden Trump statue and sacrificing virgins in a roaring fire in the light of the full moon. Here are some famous adherents of Christian nationalism: Adolf Hitler, Satan, and Donald Trump, who is Satan and Hitler. Here are some famous opponents of Christian nationalism: Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, David French, Joseph Stalin, David French, Fidel Castro, and David French. We hope this helpful explainer has helped you and been helpful. Now go find a Christian nationalist and slap them with a fish.
That's pretty funny. Yeah. That is an argument that I hear. A lot of people think that these conservative Christians like worship Trump and think that he's Jesus. I've never seen that. I've never seen that. I can understand why people think that. But never seen it. Never heard anybody really say it. Maybe somebody has said it out there, but like that's not the prevailing thought within the movement of Christian nationalists or the Conservative Party. But people have their own views, So maybe there's somebody out there that does think that. But yeah, it's amazing how Christian nationalism has like been demonized out, especially out here in LA where I live. As if like true Christian nationalism is somehow like the worst thing that you could have for America. And that like Christian nationalism means that people are going to murder people who aren't Christians. Christians are going to murder people who aren't Christians. And there's this like fear of the Crusades that people obviously don't really know that much about the Crusades, but they think that like it was just predominantly Christians seeking to kill opposing Muslims for no reason. And then they also think that the Muslims were completely justified in the murdering of all the Christians and Jews that they murdered. So I don't know how that became a thing, but I feel like that's part of the fear. Is like we're just gonna have another Crusades all over again. As if like a Muslim nationalist, in other countries that are um are not as bad as a potential Christian nationalist representation of America could be. Like that. Don't know where it comes from, but there's a deep fear of Christian nationalism, and maybe it is because in the past presidents have kind of presented themselves as Christians, and they have also been pro every war that has that America has gotten themselves into. So on that, I get it. That makes sense, and but there's so much, so many people within that Christian nationalist movement that are anti-war, but they're not talked about, and they don't get that much publicity because it doesn't fuel the fear. And that makes sense. So there's a big disconnect on like what Christian nationalism actually is, like what it should be, compared to what a stereotypical understanding of it is. So yeah, it's a confusing world, especially when you're having conversations with people that don't fully understand what they're criticizing, and then also don't want to be told that they're missing information. So those conversations are kind of funny, but this sketch kind of nailed it. But that was a pretty good one. I like it. Christian nationalists, just the worst type of people. The worst. Worshipping Trump. It's a lot of worshipping of Trump. That's actually the best. That's funny.